Hey there, Tenno. I'm ShadowScythe, and today we're going to be doing an on-the-spot review of Gara's signature secondary weapon, the Fusilai. Now, like all other secondary weapons, these kind of throw at an arc and do have some damage fall off. However, as far as like all the thrown secondary weapons that we're used to, yeah, we've got the Kastanas that do electricity, we've got the Talons that explode, and then we've got the Hiku, the Kunai, and the Spira, as well as the prime versions of the last two that I had just mentioned, that all do puncture damage. And that's what makes the Fusilai really unique, is it's a thrown secondary that does slash damage. So I was really excited for these, not only because of the way that they look, because other than these little details right here for the handle, you're literally throwing a blade made of glass. How fucking cool is that? And they have such a unique effect when you throw them. But anyway, let me give you the base stats. Well, and here's the thing. Silently lacerate enemies with Gara's signature glass throwing knives. If you haven't figured it out, her entire kit is based around slash damage. So she's not... So, although it's really cool they brought her out in the plains, her kit is not ideal for the plains at all. Anyway, here are the base stats. Accuracy 100, as with all thrown secondary weapons. 23% crit chance, crit multiplier of 1.7, fire rate 2.83, a magazine size of 6, noise silent, obviously, 29% status, making this weapon ideal to go either way for status or for crit. 30.8 puncture and 46.2 slash. Now that's under auto. Now, here's the thing. There is no changeable fire mode on these, so the semi-auto is a little bit misleading. And I'd have to look this up to double check, but if I had to guess, I'm going to assume the semi-auto is referring to, like, if you're carrying a data mass or something where you're only throwing with one hand, meaning that you've got, like, half the damage put out, which would kind of make sense. Like I said, don't hold me true to that, because that's something I have to look up to confirm, to be certain. Though it does kind of make a little bit of sense, seeing as how there's increased stats as far as the damage and the status. Crit multiplier is slightly less at 1.5x, fire rate of 1.5, which would actually make sense if you're only throwing with one hand. Same magazine size, reload 3 seconds, a lot slower than the 0.8 reload. Only a 3% crit chance, which kinda sucks. Noise alarming. Don't ask me about that, I have no fucking clue then. This is not referring to only thrown with one arm. I don't know what the hell this is talking about now. 37% status chance, trigger type semi-auto, 92.4 puncture, and 138.6 slash. Now, as you guys can see in my inventory, I did already fuck this up by adding an additional forma. However, here's the thing. Wrong tab. It comes with a V polarity in by default, which is where my Hornet Strike is. I put the second one in on barrel diffusion. And depending on how this goes, I'm probably going to put 2 to 3 more forma in it, just for give me a chance to play around with a couple of different builds. Because the build you guys just saw on it, that's a crit build that I'm currently working on that is nowhere near finished. Anyway, let's see what... Well, actually it's Monday, so... Before I do that, let me take my cat off of my loadout. Just so that we don't have it trying to eat the ever-living fuck out of everything. Yes, go to Maru's Bazaar. Get the I get the whole thing about it being about how some people have been having some issues with trading in their Iatan sculptures or selling their Iatan sculptures or whatever. I haven't experienced that, so... But it's to my knowledge that they are working on it, if you guys have been experiencing those bugs. Anyway, let's get right into a mission so that I can show you guys the shredding power of the Fusilai.
Hey, did you hear? If you're looking for
And as with always, I tend to just run these short little missions to kind of show it off, so you guys can see the visual effects. I'll do a more legitimate... I'll use it against a more legitimate enemy type whenever
Lucky for you,
I have a finalized build that I actually want to show off to you guys.
Let's go.
So, this is really just there to basically let you guys get a feel for how it looks and how it can look. And as you already saw, whether you like crit or status, you can go either way with this weapon.
Here we go. Let's find some antiquities.
Not that way, this way. But yeah, that freaking visual effect on them is awesome. Oh, and flight speed, really? This is one thrown secondary that if you... I don't really think you would have to use a flight speed mod on at all if you needed to.
Let's go on the offensive.
There's no doubt in my mind that an Iatan treasure lies somewhere in this derelict. And yet, I wouldn't set foot in this place for all the Iatan of the system.
Of course you wouldn't,
on
Maru.
the other hand,
Sketchy fuck. Alright, let's get up here. Oh, okay, the secondary is when it shatters on impact. That makes a lot more sense. Because if you noticed, I've only been throwing like one at a time, and occasionally it'll break and I'm killing a cluster of frickin' enemies. Yeah, that's actually really cool. Over the past few days of using this secondary weapon, I can't believe I never noticed that. And then the, apparently I still have the potential to trigger Gara's passive of the built-in blinds. Haha, uglies, you ain't getting me. Not that it would have made a fucking difference to me if you tried. Alright. Should be like...
well,
Ooh, yay,
this
it's
should
this
be
one.
fun. Maybe you should stretch first. You know.
I mean, I used to cheese, like, especially this one all the time with the... Fuck, Titania. Just because I wasn't all that confident with my parkour skills. But this has gotten so easy. And if you guys are going to try to ridicule me about skipping over the Cephalon fragment, I've completed the Cephalon fragments. I completed those like 3-4 months ago. And that is by far one of the worst things of cancer you could ever put yourself through. Just because each planet has like 2 to 3 sets of fragments to reveal a piece of the lore behind Ortis. I mean, it's cool how they went about that, but just the sheer amount of effort it takes to track them all down, whether you're using a Helios or not, is insane. Anyway, that is it for the Fusilai. Now, I will tell you this, the video for the Volnus will come out tomorrow, and I have not touched that at all other than to max it out. So the Volnus is completely maxed, and for the most part, I pretty much already have a solid build on it. And there's no form in it whatsoever. But anyway, back to the weapon at hand. With the current build that I have on it, my stats are up to 66% crit chance, fire rate of 4.53, 61.7% status chance. What I may actually end up doing, however, is I may drop this and do a hybrid build between status and crit. Just so that we have the critical chance, but then I can also hit for significant status damage and possibly mod this for corrosive to help out against the Grenier. Crit chance at 8.6 on the secondary. Oh wait, puncture and slash at 224 and 940.8 respectively on the auto. Back to the semi-auto, 8.6 crit chance, fire rate of 2.4, 72.6% status chance, puncture of 672, and slash of 2822. Now, like I said, this is all going to be changing around as I play around with it. I will tell you this much, Hornet Strike through MAME will definitely be staying. These 4 mods are like the solid cornerstone of any secondary build. Like, with the exception of MAME, it'll either be MAME, Bore, or Pummel, depending on what the primary damage type of the weapon is. But, like, the 2 multi-shot mods and Hornet Strike are, like, the cornerstone of every secondary weapon build that I do. Anyway, that has been the on-the-spot review of the Fusilai. If you guys like this video for whatever reason, hit that like button and subscribe. If not, be sure to check out some of the other videos on my channel. Something there may catch your fancy, whereas this video did not. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and player.me for all things related to Twitch, YouTube, and any sort of IRL derp that could be causing a delay. And until next time, Tenno, stick to the shadows.